off on the end and towering over a very shy-looking Henry G.
The last time I was on this desk, we know what happened.
Yeah, we do. Mate, this is a major now. There's a new level of professionalism here.
I mean, easy skins will never get into a tournament like this. So
there we go. 10 seconds, we got there.
Yeah, so you need not worry. Although it is wonderful to have you both here. I'm guessing you've been enjoying the tournament so far.
Yeah, we've seen some good matches so far. It was a fun dust too. Some what you might call some upsets already with Cloud9, although I think Luminosity might be a bit slept on in the eyes of the general public.
Yeah, just to follow on that flip side game as well. Not the result I expected. I knew TSM were going to win, but
not that convincingly, right?
And there wasn't more TSM were doing. Their cash can be questionable at times, especially their T side. It was just flip side approaching the map completely wrong. That was really disappointing from flip side. I wanted more from them that game, but didn't turn up. But I guess that's a nice segue to move us on to this series.
Yeah, well, this is one actually. I'm going to struggle to call this between these two teams. I think
it's G2 versus Mouse.
Obviously, I'm going to struggle to call a winner, Duncan. But what we've had is thanks. That's why we work so well together.
The package.
The package. That's Bardolph. Anyway.
Not from what I've heard. But
this is a game where I think these two teams are both equally matched. I think it's really hard to call in terms of talent. We talked about how mousesports are flattered to deceive in several outlets, including the major on home soil in Cologne, where people had them, myself included, thought maybe they could be a dark horse, maybe they could do it in Germany. They couldn't. And since then, they've just been in the doldrums. They just haven't really been what we thought they were going to be. By contrast, G2, they've been a team that I was like, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And every time there's a bump in the road, they seem to overcome it. So I'll throw it open to the desk. How do we see this one going, boys?
It's like you said, it's difficult to call. Both teams kind of a bit of an anomaly right now. I think obviously we haven't seen Jacob come into the G2 lineup too much recently. I think this is the first big tournament for them with him in the lineup. mousesports, obviously, the last event they claimed was their most prepared event, the last major. They said, oh, this is the one we're ready for. We're going to take it all the way. Didn't even get out in the groups. Disappointingly, I think it's Cloud9 they got knocked out by in the end, but it seems like one of those games where it's just going to come down to the individual talent. I think mousesports, especially with the pickup of Nico here, I think he's one of the most exciting players in Europe right now.
Absolutely.
Him going hand in hand with Nex as well. On paper, that lineup is sensational. They should be able to do some huge work here. If those guys kick off, we're G2 are in for a world of pain here. But obviously, Jakem, he was actually the player in Copenhagen Wolves with DreamHack London and did huge work against G2 and knocked them out. Yep. And now, funnily enough, he's coming to this lineup. And that's actually quite a nice pickup, I think. They're kind of getting more synergy here, getting more of a Scandinavian feel to it. 2 Swedes, 2 Norwegian players, and obviously the Portuguese Fox coming into it. I think their team's getting more synergized. It feels like they're in a happier place. And it'll be really interesting to see what this one comes down to. In terms of the maps and stuff, I don't really know which way that will go, but
yeah, we saw the gathering round, so obviously the veto is going to be coming very soon. With that in mind, James, I'll get your thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think where G2 might struggle is action and reaction. I think especially if you see them play a team like TSM, who are going to be up on the upper echelons of decision-making, how they react to things on G2's CT side, I think is where they could struggle the most. On the T sides, I think the maps, we might see some coming in now.
Yeah, got them coming in, James. Do continue talking, though. Obviously, the people at home can see.
Yeah, I think the maps probably have a general advantage. Those two combination of things to mousesports. G2 still a developing team, and you can see mousesports vetoing train as well, which I think is important. We've seen a lot of train from G2, but it can vary for them. They have a bit of a wild style.
This is interesting though, because mousesports veto Dust 2. Traditionally, Dust 2 a very good map for mousesports. They are a cash Dust 2 team.
That's
train
right.
a lot. Sometimes they're vetoing train as well. So. Interesting choice here, because that suggests to me that specifically G2 they're banning it against.
Well, here we go. So the last 2 maps will be Inferno and Cash. Those are interesting decisions. I think Cash is one of the maps.
I think Cash is the best for the both.
Absolutely. I think that's probably where we're going to see what we said. It's a very talented lineup, and it's actually going to be Inferno coming in. That is going to be...
That puts a cat among the pigeons.
Yeah, obviously one of the maps has kind of changed recently, actually coming one of those maps where T's are actually posting big sides and big halves going into this one. Ever since the M4 update, I feel that was. CTs have to play a lot more passive these days. You're seeing a lot more, especially teams like TSM, VP, they actually play right back on the bomb sides these days. They're not committing so much towards middle, pushing down bananas. So that's going to be interesting to see where these heavy deathmatch players come in. They're high fraggers, like we said, Nex, Nico, people who like to be really aggressive up in your face. How are mousesports going to react to this? How are they going to, what's their methodology going to be going forward? That's going to be an interesting map.
So, I mean, I'm already getting a feeling we're all kind of collectively leaning towards mousesports a little bit here, just in terms of firepower. Duncan.
But the thing is, for this map, the map's the decider for me, because I actually think what's interesting is the way that mousesports have banned. They've banned some of what I thought were some of their stronger maps. And so If it had been Cash, I think that map's pretty 50-50 for the two, and so I would lean towards Mouse. I think they're the better team overall. They've got the better potential as well. But actually on this particular map, I'm quite uncertain about how mousesports are going to do. So I'm actually kind of feeling G2 to edge it out here. I think they can do it, even with the new man who I haven't seen much of, I thought they were pretty decent on it overall the last few times I saw them with Scream, so I think they can do it on this map. I think this is not that great a map for Mouse.
It's
interesting. It's
definitely going to be one of the 16-14 scorelines. Like, this is one of the maps I actually really like watching G2 on. They have a very simple approach to the map. It's quite similar to the Nips playstyle. Kind of, they know they have the talent to go into bomb sites together, kind of work the map a little bit slower, go together up towards the middle. And one of the best players on this map for them is Dennis for G2. He really does kick off in this one. He's so explosive. Like, even though they lose the first 2 frags, Dennis seems to be going up quad, finding the first 2 entry kills, and he's one of the guys you have to watch out for so much. You can see the guys on screen now. Godbeat is trying to do the rundown, how they're going to approach this one. He's obviously the tactical mastermind behind these guys. What can he bring to the table to actually dissect this and take down someone who's I would say G2 are a very loose team. Yeah. They don't adapt to the whole executions going into bomb sites. You won't see much of that. They're going to be trying to work picks and then seeing how they can get into sites from that. So that's going to be a big mission for Godbeat to overcome, I think.
Well, you can't underestimate his importance and how he's sort of very good at picking apart teams. I'm guessing they'll have looked at this fixture right from the get-go and thought, this is the one that we need to start strong. We need to be playing in that winner's match afterwards. So how do you think they're going to be able to pick apart G2 here, James?
I think this is actually an easier map for them to try and counter-strat G2, because if you look at their G2's CT side on Train, for example, you can have any one of 3 people rocking an AWP at any one time and playing different positions. So it's a bit more free flow, as Henry was saying. Whereas Inferno, you're going to have more static positions, generally speaking. Obviously, you might see variation towards A if they're playing, say, double arch or they're boosting on short and that kind of thing. But I think that because of the nature of the map, theoretically, it should be more exploitable for mousesports on the T side. But then again, G2 obviously a team who've developed now, and they have more players coming from the Scandic region, so they're going to have less communication issues on a map where you might have to have difficulty calling rotations and so on. So that's going to be improved to them. How good it's going to be is another question.
I kind of agree with that as a good X factor as well. That's where G2 could be better, is that now that they've got 4 players who in theory can all understand Swedish. I don't know how well the actual Norwegians can speak it, but I know they can all understand it.
Yeah, Norwegians have a better understanding than Danish people.
So the thing is, when Scream left the G2 team, back when they were Gamers 2, Kingwin, whatever they were called, he even said, actually in the team, we didn't have that great communication. Some people didn't even maybe get on that well in the team, so it seemed like they were always just a bunch of fraggers who just went in the game and just played and hoped it went well. So maybe they can add something in there, because generally you would favour the more tactical team on Inferno, because it's a map where if you are God B, you can throw feints in there, you can make people think you go into a site and then go to the other last second.
Just while we're continuing that thought, we're going to bring up the head-to-head as well. Obviously, throughout the tournament, we've been picking out players to watch. Now, one of them is Nico. No doubt that he's exploded on the scene, and it's weird because he was a mousesports sub.
Yeah, that's right.
For so long. And he was being loaned out, wrecking people, and I believe it was Gamers 2 that borrowed him for the Gaming Paradise qualifiers, is that right?
Yeah.
And he put in an absolute ridiculous performance there.
They put him to sub. He's always been contracted for them, but they put him to the sub position. Obviously, Speedy taken out the lineup. He comes back in. It was always rumoured that it was down to the communication. That was the point we were just making about G2. They said the communication between them and Nico wasn't quite there. But ever since he's come back, he seems to have brought a breath of fresh air into this team. It seems like they've kind of rekindled themselves. The thing is, we've cast him a lot of the PGL series, and he seems to be one of those players, he will go absolutely sick or he won't turn up. He plays a very heavy lurk role. And it's when teams actually know how to counter him and lock him down, that's when he can't really do too much of it. This is the thing, the majors coming up, the fixtures have been out for a while. They know he's a hot head to watch out for, so I'd imagine G2 are going to know how to lock him down. And this is the thing, Nico needs to have that freedom to go into positions by himself. It's kind of similar to a Get Right style of play. Like, his team will go into the A-bomb site, let's say you're playing Overpass, for example, and he'll be towards a monster tunnel, coming in with that backstab, taking down the rotation players. So we'd expect to see a lot of that from him, but like I said, one of the players that can go massive or do very little indeed.
Yeah, and on the other side, we obviously had Rain. So just a few thoughts about him. He's had so many sort of highlight reel moments, but overall, what does he bring to the table as a player?
I mean, mainly consistency. The thing is, you look at Gamers 2, well, G2, the one thing they haven't really had throughout their history is the consistency, because Makalele's always wildly up and down. You never know if he's AWPing even, depending on what the month is. Other players in the team, Scream's never been a super consistent player.
Yeah.
Rain, to me, was always like, he was like the stable player, where he just gives you the platform, someone else can go crazy.
He's like one of the players you can pit on down long and dust to, and you know he's good for 1 or 2 frags pretty much every time. And he has phenomenal clutch potential as well. Obviously, we can think back to the highlights of him on Train, Virtus Pro. He can do that all day long. He's really good at clutching as well. So that's why he's so good to play those Lone Ranger positions, because you know he's got that clutching potential as well. One thing I just wanted to touch on before we go into this game as well is the AWP players on both of these teams. Both very flashy players. You've got Chris J, who's had a little bit of a slump from AWP. Actually opted to go back to the rifle for about a month or so, but now he's back, found his confidence once again. And obviously in the other corner, you've got Makalele. These are 2 guys that are renowned for actually going for the really audacious picks, going for like questionable pushes and stuff like that. So that's going to be a huge factor, especially on a map like Inferno, where keeping the AWP as mobile on CT is a huge factor.
Well, on that point, I give the edge to Chris J, not only just in terms of consistency with the AWP, but actually the fact he can pick up a scout. Probably is one of the best scout players in Europe. Just so good with that as a secondary weapon.
The thing is, this is an AWP matchup, though, where it's hard to know who will actually get the best of it, because they both play such a risky, high, repeat style that you never know who's going to get it. It's not like there's a solid, it's not like Guardian versus Skadoodle where you know they'll be in static positions, they'll have the shot first, and if they hit the shot, they're going to dominate that matchup. On this one, it could wildly, within the same map, just veer from one to the other, and both of them sometimes will have games where they frag very poorly because they don't hit any AWP shots.
The good thing about that is mousesports. Chris J, when he's not having a good AWP day, he's actually puts his hand in the air and say, look, I actually won't be doing this one. And Dennis can pick it up quite reasonable as well. He can perform on the day. So that's the good thing about mousesports, is they won't force the issue too much. If Chris J is having a poor day of the AWP, they do have that backup plan to fall on. And Chris is actually a really, really strong rifler as well. His M4 on CT
he's added that to his game.
He's phenomenal with that. He's like a world-class rifler as well. So that's why I really like him as a player. But that's the matchup I think is more interesting to see on Inferno, how those 2 players are going to adapt and kind of how they, with the new meta I talked about, the more passive CT plays, how they're going to be approaching that one.
So I'm going to bring James in at this point, because you've been awful quiet there, thinking you're looking at Ella Henry's points. This is where you come in and destroy them.
Well, I think one of the things with Gamers 2, of course, is that they have so many AWPers. Again, we see it on Train where they just throw it around randomly. You know, Inferno's a map where you'll have an AWPer rotate, so he's not always in a static position. Otherwise, he's going to get exposed with flashbangs. People are going to push him with rifles and so on. So it's not even that an AWPer necessarily has to rotate their own position. They can just throw it to someone else, if they have a good spawn, for example. But we have to bear in mind Dennis as well. He is one of the most aggressive players, generally speaking, in the game, and he is an absolute savage. Back in the days when he was playing for LGB, for example, every single round on T-side, he'll just boost onto on Cash on the boost straight away, always trying to go for the frag, completely relentless. Like it's like a dog with rabies or something. It's absolutely insane.
And I think actually,
I'm sure I like that comparison.
Since he came back to play in the active play in Kingwin Gamers 2, he's a guy where it feels like month on month he gets a bit better. He gets a bit closer to that old LGB form. Whereas when he first came back, he was a bit raw still. But you see, especially online games, he's been having some wild highlights.
So, guys, we got to do quick predictions. The players are ready. We've had the round of applause over there. They're all pumped and ready to go. So, who's going to win it?
I am going to hazard a guess at G2 because I just want to see some savagery with AWPs.
Okay.
Mousesports 16-14.
I'm going to go Gamers 2 edge it.
All right, there we go. I'm going to go with mousesports, and we're going to get into the game. So, take it away.
All right, guys, this is going to be good. We've got G2 and mousesports. I'm here with Natu. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very excited for this. This is going to be... We were talking about this one whilst the analysts were just in our little caster corner, and it's very hard to predict what the hell's going to happen in this match. So
definitely it is. I mean, mousesports, the team that doesn't really want to play Inferno much, so we don't really know how they're going to approach this. But pistol round is live, so go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, we've already got 3 players here. A lot of attention on middle for mousesports. Not wanting to fall all the way back just yet. And G2 looking to try to find ways to close the distance as they slowly gain some map control here.
Yeah, and it's funny to notice that mousesports not opting to get any nades actually on the city side, so they're heavily having the armors just copy with a diffuse kit to work with here. So they're really banking on hitting those shots. At the same time, G2 also no nades at all, so there's not going to be a heavy execute coming from them. It's going to be all about aim battles.
And it looks like they've made their decision. They're slowly shuffling their way up Banana, looking to get the push onto that B-bomb site. And Dennis is going to be the first player to spot this. And it's going to be chaos when they go in. All Kevlar's here, all about those shots indeed, and there it is, JKM with the entry onto Dennis. That's fantastic. Now it's just Nico who's going to try to fall back and hold construction, try not to die against the onslaught of many, many G2 players, and there are still 5 of them left alive at this point. They're tagged, but they have the important areas here. Construction under control, and you can see that mousesports is struggling to break their way in. Chris J's going to find 1 frag onto Dennis, but immediately we are going to get the trades coming in until just Nex is left, and that is going to be the round here closed out. G2, pretty simple.
Oh yeah, very simple. If you're not able to get any kills once the T start attacking that site, it's going to be a very hard retake. 3-on-5 B bombs out of Inferno, it's basically impossible.
And so now it's going to be good times for G2. They got the monies, they got the SMGs, got P90s rolling in.
Let's see, and let's see how mousesports approach this. They're a team that likes to force by a lot on these situations, but this time they're more conservative actually. We see a couple of deagles, some 5.7, a couple of P250s, but noticeably there's no armors from them. So that's a lot smarter, I think, for them. So looking into the big picture.
Yeah, I really like to see the deagle plays. And we've got three players there for mousesports on Banana looking for those long-range shots. This is where the deagle can actually shine, just that quick one shot. Nico, going to get tagged, and he's going to have to fall back now. But unfortunately, he didn't get any tags of his own there with that deagle, and we'll see that G2 will slowly take control of Banana, but they are really wondering, where the hell is this stack? Or is there a stack, indeed?
Yeah, I mean, they're just flashing corners, using Molotovs. That's very smart right now. Just taking their time, checking all the corners and making sure that no one's going to be able to surprise from the mousesports side. So it's just taking a lot of time, but as it seems right now, let's hope for G2 that they don't opt to go to that big bomb site. As we see right now, there's going to be a 3-man stack from mousesports.
But it's really hard for them to get that information.
Oh, it is, right. But it seems like G2 is falling back towards that A site.
There we go, we got JKM with the first kill in apartment. So slowly but surely, G2 are finally working their way onto a bomb site. And I really like how slow and steady G2 took it. They try to keep their options open by just having players all over the place, but not going too aggressive where they can give away their weapons. It seemed pretty well coordinated there.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart to buy a couple of AKs, have a couple of guys with the SMGs. That enables you to buy the Molotovs, enables you to buy smoke grenades and flashes, so you can flash those corners, make sure that there's no cheeky little stacks anywhere, and just gives you a lot of map control that you can take easier when you have Molotovs, for example.
So now at mousesports, they're in that horrible place. We've all been there, where you've got an eco on the CT side of Inferno. It's not fun.
No, it's definitely not fun. It's all about gambles at this point. And as you can see, mousesports again going for that B stack with 3 people over there. It's going to be only 2 on that A site. And yeah, it seems like G2 is doing a very similar around here, just trying to get this information. And they do get a pick on Nico right away. But little they know, there's going to be 2 more on that B site.
Name of the game for mousesports is just getting the economic damage in. But Rain is looking to build the bank with the MP7 that's in his hands right now. Special delivery indeed as he makes his way forward for the entries. And so far, so good for G2, taking over the B-bomb site. The bomb is making its way over now. And Nex and God B with their P250s respectively, looking for those frags. There's one. We see another one. There it is, 2 frags. That's not a bad result for a PT50 eco.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, well, all in all, the first 3 rounds, mousesports only able to get 3 frags total. So obviously that's not enough, and that means that G2 already having some hefty banks here. Dennis sitting at 7K, for example. Jacob almost 7K. So now it's going to be the first weapon round. Chris J going for that up, has the money to buy a smoke with it, but the rest of his teammates are going for those same 4s, and they have enough utility as well. Let's see what kind of approach they have for the CT side. Are they going to be playing aggressive Banana or just more conservative?
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that pace. Also the pace from G2 here, because they have so much control on the T side of really trying to force plays out of the CTs. And there it is. We could have a bit of aggression, as you were mentioning. Nico's going to go down Banana, and he can be left there now, as we see Dennis rotating all the way towards A.
And look at that. G2 is just setting up a pretty quick A play here. Smokes are coming in, and they're doing that attack.
And this is perfect right now because mousesports, they rotated that extra man already. 4 players for this defense as the push wraps its way into the bomb site. Got Gobby on the site here, looking for the first frag. He's going to defend against Fox. More players oncoming though, but it looks like Nex is holding down Pit. Key positions are being held, but for how long? It looks like finally Rain's going to open things up, but Nex is still alive at Pit. He's doing so much damage, and it's just Rain who's left alive at this point here for the T side. G2, they've got this one-on-one. Can Rain get that quad kill? Nico's coming up from behind. Rain has no idea, but will he get a clean shot? He just spots an elbow there just for a moment. So Nico, he will finish it off. It wasn't to be. But good damage there done to mousesports.
It got really close, and that's going to make a huge dent to mousesports' economy coming into this round. It's going to make it really hard, actually, and it's going to be very vulnerable when it comes to mousesports. But when it comes to a strat from T2, I think they should have, if they want to do a strat like this, just straight up AXQ. You want to do it even faster than they did. This just left mousesports just enough time to have that fourth guy rotate in, especially when mousesports was playing aggressive in banana. So G2, I mean, they almost got away with it, but eventually Nico managing to close it out.
Yeah, we've got that lovely shotgun on Chris J. That's going to be fun to see. Next is going to be taking over apartments as well. So we still see quite an aggressive stance here. Nico's going in on Banana. He's going to get punished. Oh, indeed, that shotgun is going to go to town there. Chris J taking down 2 players in apartments. So crazy aggression both on apartments and on Banana. And mousesports find themselves 2 men up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably one of the only positions that you can think that the auto shotgun is really, really good weapon. Works out perfectly for him. It's going to make it into a 4-2 situation in favor of mousesports. And right now, Michael is going to be working towards that B bomb side. And his teammate Fox towards that A side. So they're just looking for an opening, try to get a cheeky kill, and hopefully try to make work something out of this.
Yeah, looking for those opportunities indeed. But there maybe is one. Fox takes down Nex. And now it's a 2 versus 3, so the odds shifting ever so slightly in their favor as Dennis is very aware that his flank is not covered, has to reposition, and that's created an opening into that B bomb site. And that is where the bomb is going here, on the back of Michael. Dennis will turn around as he hears the stepping, and Michael, he doesn't know which way to look for Dennis, but what a shot there, just spinning around, finding the frag onto Dennis almost seamlessly. But both players, Michael and Fox, are quite low despite getting the bomb down, so this retake is definitely game on here for mousesports as they rotate players in from both sides, from Banana and from CT spawn. Godby already making his way through construction for the site retake. Chris J a little bit behind, so he might have to wait a little bit for Chris J to get into position, and Fox is going to take him down. It's all on Godby now here for mousesports to save this round. 1 versus 2. Michael and Fox indeed very low, and Godby, he has not got much health either. 20 left, and he'll be finished off by Michael. Good stuff there from G2 to save that round. That's amazing.
2-on-4 situation, and somehow they managed to do it. There was just basically both of them, Fox and Michael, playing just an individual game. Fox managing to make that kill, and then it was Michael. Look at this though, Chris J with that auto shotgun getting these 2 kills. It looks so good at this point for mousesports, but this shot here for Michael is what really sealed the deal and made it possible for G2. And this is going to be a nightmare situation for mousesports. They're actually going for that force buy because they have absolutely no money at all.
Yeah, they just got reset. That is crippling. But Chris J, he's in the auto shotty again. And
I mean, why not? It worked once.
Yeah. Hey, he wants to... JW's got his sawn off. Right. Chris J making a name for himself with the auto shotgun, perhaps.
What a nade.
That is beautiful there.
That was money.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. And now it's going to be increasingly more difficult for mousesports.
You have G2 just opting to go for that map control, just slowly trying to get first, take that banana, give that opportunity to yourself, and make your opponents waste those nades, because that's when it gets problematic for the T's. If the CTs manage to save their smoke grenades all the way down to the very last second, so it's very hard to attack a site, but next picks up Jacob, so it's going to be a 4-on-4 situation here.
Yeah, and after losing, man, they start to feel that pressure. Okay, guys, we really got to make a move. We got to get onto a bomb site, no more messing around. And Rain is leading the charge in that effort. Straight into the B bomb site and looking for those entries. Now, where are these players? We've got Rain looking for first oranges, but it'll actually be Michael Elliott to pick up the kill. Nice trading into the bomb site, and that's a 3-on-2 situation. And of course, this should not be possible for mousesports. And indeed, Dennis will take down next. And this is a 1-round hit for G2, so they're looking so strong economically right now. mousesports, what are they going to do with no money?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to save at this point again, and that's going to be putting G2 in a very, very good position at this point. And so I think G2 should just opt to go for this map control kind of play. So far, I think that's been the better of the two. Just take over the banana and then force the occasion, take that battle with Nico that's playing pretty aggressively there, and then work things from there on out. And if your team is able to clutch the situations like you just saw Michael and Fox do in the previous round, obviously going to be in a very, very good position, and it's going to be putting G2 into a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, this is very intimidating to be in this position. Again, you know, if you're a CS player, if you play a lot of competitive matches as well, this is like one of the scariest positions to be in. It's like you don't have the nade, you don't have the smokes and the money for the smokes. Yep. That's what really
on the favorable side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that means that like changes the map completely.
Thing is, even when they save this one, they're not going to have huge bang coming in the next round either. So there's going to be some decisions to be made after this round. But knowing mousesports, they're definitely going to go for the buy, but it can really just spiral out of control at this point for mousesports.
So Chris J with that auto shotgun might be able to deal some damage. Again, he's the guy which has, well, the only investment in this round. Everyone else is, of course, on absolutely nothing. So
and again, you see G2 taking over Banana, not really putting a lot of effort toward that apartments, because when your opponents are in a save round, you sort of want to avoid the apartments because there's a lot of corners. We saw Chris J with that auto shotgun, so it's a lot of things that can really go wrong in that area. So teams more often than not opt to go and take over Banana first and then go for this middle take.
And they're kind of actually pushing both middle and the top of Banana at the same time. But I like the way that they're doing it. They're doing it so they can guarantee trades as they take some map control here. And we're about to see it come to a head here as all the players are peeking. Nex and Chris J are going to be going down there to Fox and JChem. So it's going to force some movement from the CT side. Go aggressive on Banana, and they get sprayed down there. Great stuff from Michael Elliott. And 6-1. This would be a good time for mousesports to take around, but this is that situation. Where's the money?
Yeah, they're gonna be forcing the situation. They will have some nades to work, some smokes, no Molotovs though. That needs to be noted. See if they keep doing that banana push. I think G2 is gonna still try to go into that banana. So I think if you're mousesports early on in the round, you want to maybe push even with 3 guys to banana and really force that occasion there.
And we will have some basic early round grenades just to take that map control, deny some control out of the hands of the CTs.
But instead, this time, mousesports opts to play really passively in that B-bomb site.
That's interesting there. Fox jumping up on Michael Elliott. Is that to set up a nade? Interesting stuff there.
It's going to be that A execute again.
Yeah, this is quite interesting as well, because in this situation, you could potentially abuse the fact that the team has not many grenades on CT side and play a slow round, but G2, they're straight in here with this push. Nex is going to get the first frag there onto Fox. By Boiler, the trade comes in as Michael Elliott speeds onto the bomb site. Nice entry onto God B, and things looking quite back and forth here, but mousesports might find themselves with quite the advantage, despite the bomb being planted. Michael Elliott is very low in pit. He's only got Dennis to play off of on the bomb site, and Dennis is going to try to create some space there. Really nice initiative taken by Dennis. Takes down Chris J. 2 players left here now for mousesports, and they decide to attack from the same angle, but Dennis is going to take him down, and that's just Michael Elliott left now, and he is not long for this world either. Nico with the frag, and that is surprising that they managed to hold that.
Oh yeah, I mean, it needs to be noted that Dennis, I mean G2's Dennis, did the right job of pushing short. When it's a 2-on-3 situation like that, you need to make an initiative. You need to make a kill happen to equalize the scoreline, because you know you're going to be attacked from odd angles that you're not going to be able to cover. So that's when you have to make that initiative, and he made it possible for T2 to have an opportunity to win that round. Obviously, we saw Dennis from mousesports and Nico get those kills and secure that round for mousesports. A very big one for mousesports too. Now what they need to do, they need to string these together though.
Absolutely, and it's quite funny we've got the 2 Dennises.
I know, I just realized.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Dennis kills Dennis. What? Anyway, getting back into this round, we've got quite a lot of movement here from G2. They've kind of decided to abandon the idea of taking early map control. With those AKs, looks like they want to pummel that mid defense straight away. That pace could really hurt mousesports if they don't respond quickly, but they actually have a bit of banana control themselves, so they could respond very fast to this. Chris J's behind the smoke here. He doesn't have time to fall back. He's going to have to defend from this angle. Takes the first frag, instantly traded there, and that is going to be more T's flooding into that A bomb site at this point. But that said, Nex is still alive here by Pit. They've got Nico, got B rather, up in the balcony. So this is actually looking like a good setup for mousesports to defend this. Nex is going to lay fire down onto Fox, and all of a sudden, they don't have any room to work with, but Michael Elliott storms in from quad, and then gets instantly traded by God B. It's all on JChem now, the new addition, but God B gets it done. And that's going to be another round there for mousesports. So important to get that follow-up round.
That was awkward, really awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, G2 only getting 1 kill, going through arch, getting Chris J, and they just go to bomb side and like, there's nobody here. I mean, you know, there's probably not going to be anyone in big pit in apps, right? Obviously, there's 2 guys over there. Not really the right play at that point, just going into that bomb side and sort of like not doing anything about it. You got to be aware of the fact that there's going to be obviously someone either in the apartments or the big pit. And if you're just going to go to the site, you're going to get sandwiched. And that's exactly what happened.
And that desperation plant attempt in the corner, that's not that's not what you want.
A bit hasty, I would say.
Yeah, indeed. It was definitely not ideal. And we'll have to see if they can recover some momentum here, because right now we've got Nico back to his usual tricks on the aggression there on Banana, locking it down. Rain goes down, and
this time you have mousesports with 3 players towards that B bomb site, so they were waiting for a B push from G2.
Yeah, it's quite interesting as well because some teams will do that to kind of like bait the T side to think, oh, we got the kill, let's rush in, and then have an extra, and then there's like an extra CT that you didn't expect.
Yep.
And Nico's a great player for that because you can send him against multiple guys, and he might just deliver like 2 or 3 frags. So good idea there from them. As we get the push coming in finally from G2 to try to take some map control. But look at this, Christian is going to actually take down JChem. So they're actually struggling to get map control, and mousesports realize that they have a huge advantage right now.
Yeah, that's the thing with G2. I mean, they're going to be a team that really relies on their individual skill, making those opening kills, making those gaps in the map that they could exploit. Not at this time around, though. They're going to be 3-on-5 down. It's all going to be Fox here just quickening up. If things get awkward here for Chris J or not, is the question. He's going to go down to Dennis.
And so now this round could go either way, but the thing is the time is an issue. 20 seconds to get the bomb planted, even though they've got cool positions here. CT Spawn cutting off that rotation. If that bomb doesn't go down, then it's all for nothing here. We've got Gobby by Pit, and he's going to help to stop this. The bomb is going to hit the ground, and that should be that here. Fox is way too far away. He gets eliminated by Gobby, who is actually having quite a nice match so far, I've got to say. Gobby with some very high impact frags in the last few very important rounds.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too late in the round, sort of indecisive of what they wanted to do, eventually realizing, okay, boys, we have no other choice than going to that A site. We had a CT in Big Pit, as in got B, and his teammate wasn't on that site. They made a crossfire, and there's nothing G2 really could have done at that point. And this mousesports is actually making a bit of a comeback into this game.
Absolutely.
And costing G2 a force buy, by the way.
Indeed, but it's quite cool, actually, because with the 2 Tech 9s, it's almost kind of... it allows you to have these like really explosive rounds. Just running and gunning with that Tech 9, having those in front can be really brutal to deal with. But G2, they've actually kind of split up here, looking for the picks. It's not going to work out. Mike Lely goes down.
No, definitely you want to bunch up. When you have the Tech 9s, the power of Tech 9 is to bunch up and just rush together, make sure you're trading those kills, and then use the opportunities you create from that. Obviously not the way that G2 is doing right now.
And they're having to try to save the situation here. We've got Fox, that AK is moving up middle, and he's looking to get that entry in towards Arch, and that's such a key area to actually take over with as the T's. And he's slowly working on it. It's Rain applies some pressure there, makes the presence of the T's felt by the CT, so they still don't know what's going on. And look at this sprint from Fox straight into CT.
Do they know?
Arch.
Do they know?
They must know that there's a hole there. I think Dennis might be covering it. It's hard to say at this point, but they're going to split on, and Fox could be the key here in absolutely shutting this round down. G2 needs some clean entries, though, as well, and Fox looks like he's going to divert his attention and go and help the entries into the site. Here he goes into construction. First frag. Great stuff there from Fox. Now he can smoke the blue truck. This is a really strong round right now for G2, unless Nico can do something big, and he won't. So now this retake is going to be very labored for mousesports, but here they go. Bomb down. And slowly but surely, they're going to try to muster this attack.
They need to get a kill within the next 5 seconds or so. And they don't. Fox gets Chris J as well. Is he going to get Got B? No, Got B returns that kill. Sort of possible, but time is running out. So it seems like mousesports is opting for that save, and Drain even managed to get next to the smoke. It's all over in these rounds for mousesports. And the horrible situation for mousesports is that these rounds have been so close. Even though they've been able to string 3 together, they're going to be in no money trouble in the upcoming round.
Well, this could be huge, actually. If Goppy gets multiple kills, that's going to be excellent damage, but he'll only get 1. And you can see that G2 managed to hunt down both players that were saving, which is very devastating here.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I mean, G2 is still not sitting pretty either when it comes to economy. They're going to have to invest everything into this one as well. But mousesports, obviously, they're going to have to save this. They're going to have to lead, let G2 have the lead going into that second half and just hope that they can creep up to that 7 mark.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very tough. And that last round, that setup that they had, they had 5 players. Why are they completely blind on Arch side? It's a big question mark there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit awkward for sure for mousesports. But again, here we see Rain is going to be the one here working that banana. He's going to make those CTs retreat all the way back to that B bomb site. And look at this, G2 playing very, very passively, just giving a lot of room for mousesports, a lot of respect at this point. Just waiting for maybe an initiative for mousesports at first before making any decisions. But as it seems, they're going to be creeping out towards the B bomb site. And judging from the situation, they're probably going to have an execute coming towards this site.
Yeah, no Molotovs though, but let's see if they can get it done without them. They have the AKs moving in with full force. So we've got Fox there covering some good angles. Rain as well, another man at the point. of the push, and there it is. First player spotted, and we'll get both of them sprayed down promptly as the bomb site will go quite easily, it would seem, to G2. And this should be a pretty, quite a shutout here. I would not expect any frags at one from next there, but the trade comes in immediately. So negligible damage done. G2 8-4. They've got a good lead going into this first half.
They seem to be very decisive when they're attacking a bomb site. They're making sure they're trading the kills properly, and they're going as a one wave instead of what we saw, for example, earlier today from Fnatic, how they were just jumping one by one to the drop room, obviously not being the best way to do it. Instead, they're going together, making sure that even if there's a trade kill from the CTs, they can always have the opportunity to get that trade back. So they're really being impressive so far, actually.
And they've also respected the situation here. They're saying, you know what, we can't get this done without full grenades, full everything. So they're actually deciding to actually go for another save here, and they invest a little bit.
I mean, it's really hard in Inferno to haul on CT when you don't have the nades. Then you're going to have to make a lot of gambles, and they'll have to go just spot on for you to have the opportunities. But next is going to pick up a kill on that with that Deagle. Fox returns it to make it a 4-4.
Yeah, so this could actually happen here. mousesports with an extra kill or two. And you never know which way this one's going to swing as G2 try to find their way into positions. And middle is the first call. There it is, Fox, as usual, is leading the charge here. He's been quite good at creating opportunities for G2 in this match so far, and he will find himself on Archway again. And that previously has been a bit of a sore spot for mousesports, sorry. Yeah,
I think the great thing for G2 so far is that it's been very level, very even between the players. Everyone's had an impact on this. Even Fox, a lot of people give him a lot of hate for not performing, but he's been a very big part of G2 today.
Look at this sneak in. It's just straight into the bomb site, just wrapping all the way around. Once again, using those blind spots to his full advantage. And G2 are going to find themselves on a bomb site. Dennis taking down God by Pit, and that's that. That's a wrap here for this round. As the bomb can make its way over, be planted. Nika's going to come in and try to get some damage, maybe sneakily steal a weapon away, but that's pretty much the best he can hope for.
Oh, yeah. And probably not even that. Oh, he does, though. He gets that kill on Dennis.
Whoa.
And Rain as well. Where did that come from? Steals an AK.
He's got an AK, he's got some Kevlar here, he's got no kit. So time is really, really important. If Nico was to clutch this, that would be absolutely absurd. But here we go. Michael in a good position by Pitts, and Fox also playing off of him. These angles are so impossible for Nico. Time is a really big issue. Nico's going to find the last player now, killing Fox. Michael just toying with him at this point. Knows time is an issue. Looking for the peak, sprays him down. But how on earth did Nico pull 3 kills out of that situation?
Yeah, that's like a rabbit out of a hat, wasn't it? Even getting those kills that should never have happened. But that's the kind of player he is. He's a superstar player. He's the one that's supposed to do these kind of plays. But obviously, it could be in a situation where it's a little bit too little, too late. Look at these shots. He's making the second one right here, picking up Drain as well. It's just like a lock on his head. Gets that kill. It's going to be a 9-4 situation here in Inferno. G2 on the T side of Inferno as well. So it's a pretty grim situation when you're mousesports at this point.
Yeah, and they're sending Nico right down Banana once again. He's going to take down Rain. And that's going to be a nice situation for mousesports. Early round advantage. Now they can just play passively, can fall back and take less risks as they can just sit on this advantage. And hopefully Venom use less grenades. That would always be nice. But G2, their response seems to be big push up onto middle. Take that away from the CTs.
Yeah, mousesports is giving them a lot of room. They're just leaving that middle for G2. They can just do whatever they want with it right now.
Chris J waiting patiently again. Arch has been a problem for them. Chris J misses that first shot. Dennis is going to take down Dennis, and we've got the push there from God B, just keeping that check on Arch. They've got a much better handle of Arch at the moment here, do mousesports, and they've managed to kill 3 players of G2, so they're looking really strong at the moment. It would take something pretty impressive from Jacob and Michael Ele to open this one up. We need nothing but stellar fragging power here from Michael Ele and Jacob. Michael Ele and Jacob going to get one each, actually, so making it into a 2 versus 3 with 30 seconds on the clock.
And that A side is totally open, and he gets that kill on Gopi as well.
Wow.
It's just kills back and forth.
Chris J, man, what an excellent shot onto Michael Eilert. Bomb goes down though, Jacob finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Nico and Chris J are creeping up here, and they're going to tap him down. That again, this is G2 though, isn't it?
Right,
it's like,
it is.
Boom, 2 versus 4, they can make it happen somehow.
Exactly, and Jacob, he's a new guy in this team, and I think after Rain individually, and when it comes to aim and all that stuff, he's going to be that second best player in Norway. So yeah, they have a great combination on this team when it comes to individual talent, and they're actually making this work as a team so well. I think a lot better than a lot of people would have expected even. So they're trading like we were talking about. Look at that kill though, Chris J. Come on. I mean, that's just disrespectful. But yeah, G2 just playing their lights out right now, and they managed to get a pretty decent buy for this last round as well. They have all the utility they would need to make a good execute if they wanted to. Seems like they're going to be sending 4 people towards the second middle, and it's going to be just one guy. It's going to be Michael towards that primary middle, and is it going to be a good old just creeping out of apps kind of a strat happening here? Good old.
Yeah, this is the old
vintage
stuff. Yeah,
Counter-Strike.
Dusting off the strategy books here.
The snake is real.
And straight in there. It's not going too well for them, though, getting gunned down where they stand as they exit the balcony position out of the apartments. And Chris J's having a bit of a field day with the AWP. And last player's been spotted by apartments as well, so that's all fall to Michael Lille, though. 3 more players for Michael Lille to find with this AK. He's got plenty of time, but his position is really appalling, and he's going to go down in the end. So 6-9. mousesports managing to salvage something from the first half, but still, they're going to feel a lot of pressure going into that pistol.
Yeah, I mean, it was G2 was really good in all the clutch situations. A lot of the rounds were really close. Money was on the verge halfway through this half. A lot of the times, but they managed to win most of the clutches. So that's pretty much the big difference between these two teams right now when it comes to the scoreline.
Yeah, and another big difference actually was Chris J, as we can see in that clip there, being able to pick up an AWP because their economy was so hampered from a very early point. So and they got reset straight away. You can see that, the 3 rounds run by the T's then. CTs win 1 round, then boom.
Yep.
They lose 3 in a row again. An instant reset, that's so painful.
And important that he was getting more help towards the end of that half to that art side, which was G2 like to opt to go a lot of the time. He was getting teammates flashing for him, having teammates come and help. I think it was Dennis that was helping him a lot around there. So it took a little bit too long, I guess, for them to react correctly to what G2 was throwing at them. Maybe it's a thing of mousesports, as we know. They don't play Inferno that much, so maybe it's just a matter of they're just not comfortable.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible, and we have to talk about that arch side, don't we? Because there was that round where it shouldn't really been winnable for G2, but the blindness of mousesports, even when they had 3 players on A, just no one really checking arch. That they could definitely have had way more rounds.
It's one of those conversations. Who's watching arch? Nothing like that. So who's watching arch? Oh, he's in CT spawn already. Oh, he killed me.
Yeah, that's
that happens. I mean,
then panic mode.
In the top level, it even happens sometimes. When you're so into it, you're sort of tunnel visioning. In certain situations, especially when it's high pressure games in a major.
You build that mental image of the map, don't you? And it's all of a sudden, because you have all the information being fed to you from your teammates. Yep. You got this mental image. Okay, I can be attacked from here and here. And then something like that happens, it changes everything, but you get the information too late. And it's panic mode. It's like, okay, where is this guy? Where can I be attacked from? How do we set up against this? Point, yep. It can get bad.
Yeah, it can definitely get bad. So, another pistol round coming, and as we can see, G2 opting to go for those armors as well. Mike Lille, though, he has a smoke, has a kit to work with. At the same time, mousesports, everyone else except for Goppy going with the armor. Goppy has his smoke and a flash grenade, so a bit of an execute possible. But Dennis getting that kill on Rain is going to open things up.
That is pretty huge. That is a really big disaster right now for the CTs. Holding this when the Glocks get close is very, very dangerous, and Goppy's going to take down Fox.
It's going to be the B side is empty right now at this point, but obviously mousesports doesn't know that. So at this point, when you're 5-on-3 down on that CT side, you need to take a risk. You need to push somewhere together to get some information and try to get that next kill happen. But no, it's Chris J that actually picks that kill on Dennis, making things even worse for G2.
Yeah, Michael Lille here with the USP. He's going to have to try to go for these aim battles against multiple players. And he just can't connect that fast pop that he really needs to just bring this round back somehow for G2. The bomb's going to go down, and JChem might as well go for some frags, see if he can get some damage done. Or we can try to save the Kevlar as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. Just try and save that armor instead. Well, gets a pick on Dennis, though. He's going to have Nico on his heels. He's going to have Goppy coming the other way around as well. Does he survive the attacks? It's a long-lasting battle, but Goppy comes and wins that one in the end. And mousesports not really having to even do anything that round. They got the picks before they really had to commit anywhere. And so that was just G2 trying to, taking a lot of aim battles. That's what we were discussing previously before this match started. It's going to be a lot of that. G2 trying to force a lot of aim battles. And this time around, it was mousesports that came and won those battles.
It's really unfortunate, too, because Rain he got popped straight away. He was just going for some info on second minute. It should be, a little bit safe, just quick info, but he just got punished straight away.
Quite similar approach here for mousesports as well. You have two guys guys on those SMGs and 3 guys on AKs. So those SMGs can sort of work as scouts, like, just roaming around the map, trying to get information. Pop flashing there. It's going to be Jaken, though, getting that kill on next.
Oh, wow, and critical damage done to Dennis as well. This is not looking too good here. JKM with 2 kills, and all of a sudden G2 actually have a really nice situation at hand because there are weapons that actually need to be thrown away by mousesports. They should pick those weapons up, throw them away, and...
yeah, I think the big issue right now is Dennis is real low. They do have 2 smokes. They have a Molotov to work with. At the same time, as we can see here, G2 has force bot all the way. They have armors together with those upgraded pistols. So, but no grenades really. But Fox getting that pick on Got B. That could be huge. As we said, Dennis is still being that low guy. He's still alive there.
And they have to go for it. They're so committed at this point. And this is just impossible. Fox takes another frag onto Dennis, and all of a sudden it's just Nico left with the AK. Got full Kevlar and helmet to work with, but there's so many CTs to burn through. And Nico down to 7 HP as we'll have these CTs playing just these like really nice team play setups to force the crossfires, and Fox gets himself the 3rd kill. And that was a catastrophe there for mousesports. My goodness.
I mean, you know, hindsight, it's always easy, and you know, we can see everything here. But utilizing, when you're taking that banana in this situation in that 2nd round, you want to utilize Molotovs. Since you've bought that, Chris J should have Molotoved sandbags first, then pop flash, or actually pop flash, Molotov, and then go and attack. It would have been a lot harder for G2 to make those frags happen, actually. So I mean, it is all in the smallest details. That's the difference between these good teams.
And that's worst case scenario. When it comes to your economy, that is just horrendous being reset after winning that pistol. So now we're going to see if mousesports can do something similar. They don't have nearly as much investment, of course, not really force buying.
No.
Just a few pistols, a few P250s, Deagle.
And it makes sense for them to save this one as well, as Fox almost got off guard in that situation, but manages to fall back. It's going to be Jacob here behind these sandbags on the hot seat.
Here we go. P90 is ready to go for the spray down, but it's like this push is being thinned out.
P90, better known as the meat grinder.
Yeah, this is not fun to run into this. This is not good.
No, not without an armor, for sure.
Ooh, the dinks come in, and Godby takes down Rain, so another bit of damage done there. They really need to get a couple kills here. That would be a good result there for mousesports. They can pull that one off, and it's been Makelele taking down Godby. Just 1 man left. He's picked up the AK, no Kevlar, and he's getting tagged. So that's lights out there for Dennis. 7-11 is the score.
And important for G2, they're managing to stay with 4 guys alive, so that's always going to be good on that CT economy, making sure that you'll be able to buy those Molotovs and smokes and whatnot you need. But here we see mousesports going for this half buy at this point. It's going to be armors all across the board, and Dennis with a grenade, next with a grenade, and Got B with 2 flashes and a smoke. Chris J also with a smoke, so that would suggest that they're probably going to have some kind of a B execute coming here.
Oh, but look at the aggression from G2. They're rushing everything right now. The spray comes in from JChem, and mousesports have no idea what's hitting them at this point. They've got CT sandwiching them from both sides, and there it is. Just 2 players left now for mousesports. They have been decimated, but they did get a couple kills in their effort. But this is a beautiful, aggressive take, and we're starting to see more and more teams kind of apply this anti-force buy strategy with the aggression. So I'd love to see that from G2, and now they can just play back.
Yeah, it makes sense, though, as well. As we'll see Fox here picking at Chris J. It's only going to be Goppy, Life 4 HP, Attack 9, and M4, actually, as well, together with that smoke. So hope for him is quite slim at this point, but he's going to try to make it work. There you go, though. Fox is going to pick him up. And yeah, that aggressiveness from G2 just nullified. mousesports obviously going for some kind of a cheeky little B execute, but G2 not leaving that as an option for mousesports. Playing super aggressively in the banana, and that was pretty much a round over at that point. But I guess the most important thing about it is that mousesports was not fully invested in that one. You know, it was a buy they could afford, basically. And now we're actually going to see the actual weapon run at this point. It's going to be mousesports on all AKs across the board, and a lot of nets to work with. So this is going to be the round where mousesports need to make it happen.
And Rain is going to go for an aggressive push here in apartment straight away, get that information for his team.
Yep.
And he knows that Sekim is pretty open at this point. He can just stay kind of dug in that position. And they could even rotate an extra player to B if they wanted at this point. They got such deep information towards A. And mousesports, they're making that creep, looking like they might want to be or are thinking of going for an execute on this B bomb site. And G2, they pretty much, they know that there's no presence from from mousesports right now in middle.
But at least G2 manages to, or mousesports managed to make G2 waste one of those smokes. at 114. So that's a bit earlier for G2 than they would have hoped for. But Rain, as we see here, is going to be here creeping behind.
Oh my god, he's just going to go for it as well, not even waiting to see if there's more players. And that is such a weird position to find a CT in. And if his teammates attack from middle right now, that's going to cause so much confusion. He's going to go out for the promise and get instantly dropped by Chris J, who indeed was distracted. And G2 not able to fully capitalize on Rain's position there. Good battling for mousesports back into this round.
And at this point, when you're G2, just play passively, give mousesports the room. You're 4-3 up at this point. You have the hell advantage. Obviously, they don't know that, but they have the man advantage. That's the most important thing, so just play it safe at this point. I think it's a good positioning right now for G2, actually. Michaelella spotting from that big pit is going to get that information quite early if they're pushing at a site. Dennis here in Graveyard as well is a great positioning for the CTs.
Yeah, they can play off of each other very well here, and indeed, all the frags coming in for the CT side. G2 looking really strong, and there's no time left to plant the bomb as the final kill comes in from Dennis. And this looks like a really strong half right now from G2 when it comes to the economy, when it comes to just holding these pushes. They seem to be a step ahead of mousesports.
Yeah, it's the risks they're taking right now are just paying off beautifully. Pushing Banana in that previous round, and now Rain pushing down, going through that apps, having the best spawn, utilizing that spawn, the one that Dennis has right now actually, and just going through that purpose and going between those two houses and just holding on for a while, creeping out all the way to T apps, getting that kill on Dennis and falling back. Obviously not capitalizing on the kill on Nico though, but still a lot of information.
And here we go, some good pre-nades there, and Fox is going to get a lot of damage there through the smoke. And Jacob goes in for a piece as well, gets himself 2 frags. Incendiary is thrown down by Fox, and things are looking rather well for G2. They've already spotted where the push was coming from. However, Dennis actually finds the lone Michael Elliott towards A, and now the A bomb site is completely open. This is a very sharp turn of events here. mousesports actually have the opportunity to plant the bomb now. Dennis will actually pick up that weapon, but he cannot get to pit in time. That is critical. Rain with a very swift kill, and that is going to allow G2 to hold this site, I believe.
Yeah, there was an opportunity there, but it just took a bit too long for mousesports to try and make it happen. Dennis in a perfect position here, but gets picked up by Nex. And got B, it's going to get duel with Rain. Rain opts to fall back to that site. Things going back and forth here, interestingly.
We got the setup from the CT, so it doesn't look too shabby, actually, with Fox going in from Arch, but he gets shot in the face by Nex's Deagle, and they're going to rotate straight back to B. They've got time on the clock to do it, and they know that site is completely clean at this point, and that is such a crazy turn of events here. And Nex is setting himself up for the next shot with the Deagle. Oh, he's going to connect it as well. Nex completely saving his team this round with that Deagle, the magical Deagle of Nex, and that's going to be mousesports 8-13 of G2, and that's going to be such a boost for them.
I don't know what even to say at that point. I mean, Nex, look at this shot. He's making it happen. That's, you see, Fox is 100 HP. He made, like, I think, yeah, last 2 kills he made with 6 HP left. And this move here, just even taking this line of sight, it's pretty risky considering its HP and everything, but he makes it work. Nex dragging mousesports along, but it seems like they're going to be done for, but no, he's giving mousesports another opportunity at this point.
Oh, these HEs are a bit brutal there. Chris J receiving over 50 damage from one, but it's going to be okay. Fox was going to be able to take down Godbeat, and it looks like mousesports just want to bully their way. They want to play contact into the bomb site, but all these peaks here coming from G2 are perfect, and now the smoke goes down, and the kills are in, and all of a sudden, mousesports are left with nothing. This is a terrible situation for mousesports.
Looking for another miracle, as we see Dennis kills Dennis and helps out Rain in that situation. There's going to be Chris J alone. Does get a pick on Rain, but Dennis picking Chris J out, and it's going to be 14-8 scoreline. And mousesports is, yeah, it seems like, I don't know, it's just they're not comfortable. Their choices are very interesting. They're just going through smokes, just dying way too much one by one, and it's G2 playing really smart with their aggression, just utilizing they've noticed, obviously, that mousesports is not very comfortable at this point.
And, you know, they just got reset as well, so even if, you know, mousesports, you can say, okay, they got 2 chances, essentially, but if they lose this round, they have no money. There's nothing in the bank, so they're going to have $1,900, basically. Yep. That's nothing.
And again, mousesports is pushing Banana. They're going to have Jacob to take a duel with, but Nico and Chris J go down. But Nex manages to take that kill on him, though. So that's going to make it a 4-3 in favor of G2.
And they've got the bomb. G2 know where the bomb is. It's laying at their feet by the sandbags here. They don't want to commit into the position. It's a little bit too out there to be safe. But it actually looks like they're thinking about it. They've got 3 players there. They're flashing in. Rain can try to peek if he wants to. And at the moment, mousesports, I like that they're taking their time here, trying to clean out apartments as well. They do have a minute to play with. Don't have to rush the retake on the bomb.
Yeah, slightly risky from G2, but it happens to pay off as mousesports is just holding. So battle's going to happen here. I think it's Rain is alone at this position, though. So he's going to have a lot of work ahead of him because obviously mousesports is going to have to come over there to get that bomb.
Yeah, really interesting. You can see that, well, I have to hold that fort right now because Rain's just going to go and taking down Next. This is, you would think this would commit his teammates, Nex's teammates, into this push here, and Godby will indeed get the trade onto Rain, which is very fortunate. And Dennis now finally abuses that flank. Dennis will eliminate him though. Dennis of G2. And now it's just Godby. 1 versus 2 now, with 20 seconds to play with the in-game leader of mousesports. Legendary 1.6er as well. Of mousesports fame too, and looks like Godby is going to go down to Michael Lele, but what a weird situation that was, and having the bomb go down at Sandbags just completely just screwed them in that round.
Yeah, definitely did. Such a one-dimensional mousesports right now on that T side. Not really have a lot of going on. I mean, they won the pistol round, and that's pretty much it for them. I mean, trying to force that occasion in Banana and just getting dismantled time after time, it's not really great for them. So they're not showing any executes or that ace side, not really trying to possess any middle control. As Fox picks Chris J as well, just making matters even worse for mousesports at this point.
Yeah, and look at the aggression coming in from G2. They are going to fight fire with fire here. I mean, mousesports understand with their loadout, all they can really do here is just get close and try to hit those shots. Not a single rifle for mousesports, just Tech 9s and SMGs. And now that they're down to 3 players, a 2-for-1 trade is not going to be a nice reality for them. And Dennis into a very weird position, finds that kill onto Michael Lele now, and he's going to be able to pick up an M4. So 2 rifles in the hands of mousesports now, but Dennis can punish. There's the spray. Godby will trade straight away. So now 2 versus 2, and mousesports might just have a chance here. But Fox is in to shatter dreams as he takes down Dennis, and it's on Godby now again, 1 versus 2. Again, he does have some time to play with, and this time it's much better. Does have the AK, and he's on a bomb site, so there are definitely some options here, and the bomb will be planted into the site. And mousesports.
Very tough position for Godby at this point, but you think that duel is getting dinked, and he's going down to Fox. It's gonna be 16-8 G2.
Now G2 going to take this Inferno, and didn't think it would be this crushing, but that said,
No.
I mean, you said it to me before we went live with the game. Inferno is a very cruel mistress. Sometimes she's with you, sometimes she's against you.
I mean, as we can see here, the fact is that mousesports obviously wasn't able to string those rounds together on that CT side, and it makes it super hard. You're just working with very limited equipment. You don't have the nades you would need. You don't always have the op. Once Chris J managed to get that op later on that half, that's when they started to pick up a few rounds. And before, they were struggling.
All right, guys. Well, now it's time to throw to the Intel analyst desk.
Thanks a lot for that, Dan. Of course, you know a thing or two about cruel mistresses, no doubt about it. So there we go. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
When he injured his hand that time?
Yes. mousesports were really lackluster and bizarrely one-dimensional. They didn't seem to have a lot going on tactically. They were really trying to force that banana issue. Very, very disappointed.
It was. Sorry, you go first.
No, I just was imitating you.
Right.
Go.
Thanks very much.
Synergy.
So, it was classic mousesports when we see them in their peril. Like, their CT sides can be really hit or miss. If they let their economy go the way it did that game, Chris J doesn't get the AWP. For some reason, most of the gun rounds, he had an auto shotgun. Definitely viable in some rounds when you're trying to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
You're trying to do some situations, but they kept force buying over and over. They weren't allowing themselves to get that AWP set up. We got the rifles there. They tried some banana aggression. That kind of worked out for them. The few rounds they got on the CT half, but it felt like it was just too little, too late for them. They let the game get too far gone, and it's exactly what happened to the last major. Like they need to start controlling this economy better. They can't take the risk of keep force buying up, especially when you're against what seems like a very drilled G2 now. They seem like they've come leaps and bounds in terms of their tactical gameplay as well. They're actually approaching it really methodically, not relying so much on the actual just walking out middle and kind of going for the frags. Seems like they've refined their game a little bit. So that's actually really interesting to see. But mousesports for me, definitely
Well, they got problems.
playing against themselves in some respects when they're all the force buys.
When we talk about force buys, though, it's very different to force buy on Inferno CT side.
Yeah.
Because you basically have to win the round there. You're not in any sense going like, oh, we can still just mess with their economy a bit. You're not. They've got their economy rolling. They're buying AKs all the time. Yeah. And you need an AWP on one of your best players. And so if you buy all those deagles over and over and over again, even on the saves they were buying deagles, you're never going to have an AWP in Chris J's hands. So he's going to be neutered, basically.
And obviously in the second half, they win the pistol. He goes straight back. A sloppy banana take from them really didn't work out at all. It was just like a bad story for them, a horrible way to start this event for them, but obviously not over yet. Hope they can bounce back. It's just disappointing to see same issues from the last major still ringing true in this one.
Well, we'll pick the bones out of it in just a moment, but we have got Sir Scoots, who's with Makalele from the victorious G2.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, I do have Makalele here. First off, congratulations. You did exactly what you're supposed to do on the T side. You start out strong, you win the pistol, you go 9-6. First half, kind of walk me through, in your mind, kind of the high and low points of that.
First of all, I think that on these ASA monitors, it's hard to be the defensive team, the defensive side start at it, because you're not warmed up like completely, and it's easier to rush and push and kill them instead of just holding, because then they're going to rush you over. And I think we play probably only standard rounds that we won, and we played it pretty comfortable, and we played together as a team.
And then second side, you lose the pistol, but then you do the dirty and you win that round afterwards. And then basically that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I mean, losing the pistol round, we knew we were going to have a hard time on the pistol round because, yeah, obviously the Glock is super good while running. Yeah, I mean, CSGO pistols are overpowered, I won't say, not overrated, sorry. And yeah.
All right, and let's, obviously, brand new roster, right? Yep. Scream leaves, J-Karn comes in. First real event with this roster. So obviously, it's only a best of one, it's only your first match, but seems to be gelling all right so far?
Yeah, I mean, we know him since before. He played with Rain for a couple of years, I think. And I played with him when I played in LGB for a couple of months. He's a really good dude, really nice dude, and he have a big talent in the game. And he's young, so, I mean, he's super positive to the roster.
And then the other side of the coin, you know, obviously you're a very mixed roster, but farthest away, Fox comes all the way from Portugal. How are you dealing with, you know, language issues? What language are you calling in? How is he adapting?
I would say we're talking 90% English. When Fox is dead, or if someone needs to say something fast on another site or anything when he's not there, we talk Swedish/Norwegian. So mostly English, and it's going pretty well. From the beginning, like in the beginning, he couldn't speak that well English actually, but now it's another person. He's really good at English now, and the communication is perfect.
And how did you guys prep for the event? Did you boot camp? Did you all get together, or is it just more standard online play this last couple months?
We boot camped in Berlin at a place called Dojo Madness. It was pretty good. We could come along for a couple of days, just talk about what we're gonna do, find some new stuff to do, prepare like usual. And then we had I think around 1 month just online practicing, and a lot of official leagues as well.
Now, obviously that win puts you against TSM, which I hear they're a pretty good team. Now, again, slightly different roster for you, but at the last major in Cologne, they did 0-2 you. So, how are you feeling? I would say it's best of one, but are you looking for some revenge?
Of course. I think TSM is probably the hardest opponent for us. I don't think we have won one game, even though it's only LAN or online. There's something with them that makes us, I don't know, they're just so good, and of course we're going to look for the revenge, and I think we can do it. Just have to have the right mindset, and it's going to be a fun game.
Would that be the team that you're most fearful of in the tournament? Okay. Thank you very much for that. That's going to do it for us. When we come back, obviously the guys at the desk are going to finish a wrap-up of this, and then we're going to start the second half of the day. Virtus Pro taking on Liquid.